yo, yo, yo. Yeah. Welcome. Thank you, everybody, for tuning back in once again for another episode of Logik. Yeah, today is Wednesday, hump day. Hump day. Hope everybody having a good day today. We're going to be discussing a few things on this Wednesday. Of course, last night was the State of the Union. Trump rocked it. Trump rocked it. It was great to see. We're gonna discuss that a little bit and Logic's view on that. Um, but for the most part, we keep it on to Michigan. So we're gonna go over some Michigan boys and girls sports posts and topics, articles. Discuss that. Do you want that in the school? Do you think that's okay or not? You know. If you do think it's okay, you might watch too much mainstream media. Um, we're gonna play some videos. The Michigan DNR done changed their plans regarding the solar panels. So we are going to dig into an article on that. Couple different things. Y'all know how we do on Logic's View. God bless y'all. God is good. Man, hope y'all can hear me well. Um, I want to play a video of a lady asking a real good question at a meeting. Looks like a some type of Democrat held meeting. Um, hopefully y'all can hear this fine. But yeah, she asking a question. This is more on the 35th district, and I just let it play because all you got to do is ask the right questions, get it on camera, hold these people accountable.
I've known since the election on November 5th that uh, Kristen McDonald-Rivette was moving up to Congress, and that seat has been left empty. Why don't we matter in the 35th district, the 35th Senate district? There's 270,000. That's over a quarter of a million.
Ask your question.
And so this is why I want to know why we don't matter to the governor. Why? When is she going to call a special election? That's my question.
Now, the reason why this is important is because this will tie the Senate. This will tie the Michigan Senate. Now, we know we won the House back through the last election, but if this is in the Republican district, the 35th district, and if she holds a special election, it will more than likely end up with a Republican legislature in that position, which will tie our Senate. Gretchen doesn't want that. Her puppet masters don't want that. And that's why she's holding off. People can ask her all the time, but the reason she's holding off is because she's being instructed to. But we're gonna let them answer this question to this give the answer to this lady's great question.
Because this is currently taxation without representation. Okay? So please explain that, because I don't understand at all.
So when there's a call for a special election, there are legal hurdles that you need to jump to. And what you're speaking to, ma'am, is more of an issue with the party, with the Michigan Democratic Party as it relates to elections. Please let me finish. And there is a call for a special election. It's all about time. And so because there's not been one does not mean there will not be one. Okay, so
it only took her about 20 days 2 years ago to call an election. In other districts, why are they more important than we are? It's been 4 months. You're snowing us, sir. With all due respect.
Thank you. When you came in, I
And
knew
I'm
what you were
sorry.
coming for. You asked to do.
Yes, yes,
So
and I apologize.
we're not gonna, this is not a rally
No, it's
or
not.
a protest
I'm
session.
just speaking for
This is a
Speaking for
session where we
everybody.
can hear
I'm speaking
concerns.
for everybody.
Okay, so
It is a serious concern.
your point is taken. Your point is
I
taken,
hope so.
and
I
Representative,
hope
if I
so.
can make one more comment. And again, I hear your concern. What you're speaking to is more of a political conversation, rather, is more of a political, capital P conversation, rather than the issue that we're here for today. We will, I've heard you, we've heard you, we will take that concern back to the governor.
We don't care
And
if
you
it's
will get a
public,
response.
we don't care if it's Democrat or Republican. We want representatives.
We the people, all of us, blue team and the red team.
We gotta move on. Thank you.
Certainly.
Yes, sir.
Mm-mm-mm. So that was a non-answer. He claimed it was political. He probably don't even know. It's Gretchen. It's a question that people have been asking Gretchen, and he gonna go ask her. But of course, more than likely, she just gonna brush it off. Um, but that was at the Saginaw area town hall where Governor Whitmer's staff claims there's been no special election announced for the District 35, Senate District 35, because of an issue with uh, the Michigan Dems and deflected blame, claiming it's a political conversation. So that's leaving 270,000 residents in that district without a voice, without a senator to call, and like I say, this would even out the Michigan Senate. It will balance out the legislatures, balance the Senate out, and Gretchen doesn't want that. She already lost the House, and if she loses full control of the Senate, you know, it'll be giving power back to the people, which is not what their agenda is. So it's good to see warriors stepping up and asking good questions all over the state. Warriors are stepping up, doing their job as warriors for what's righteous, and getting active and not just sitting back complaining. So shout outs to them. Let me see what else we got. I want to share some more articles. Um, we know that Trump had the State of the Union was held last night. I don't know if y'all watched it, but I know I did. Watched it this afternoon. Didn't stay up late enough to watch it last night, but Trump was looking right at the Democrats and just telling them straight to their face. It was like they was being forced to sit through a Trump rally. Like true Trump supporters, we love his rallies. Been to many of them, watched many of them, and Trump be in his zone at the rallies, and he be getting up here doing these speeches. He get in his zone and forget he ain't at his own rally with his crowds that love him, but he be speaking that truth, you know. And he looked right at them Democrats, and they sit back and like none of them. That's what I don't like about that party. They can't speak for. There's no individuality. There's no independent thought. It's like group hive mind mentality. Everybody follow orders from the top. Don't clap at none of Trump's, none of his speeches, none of his talking points. Period. And like they all sit back and just like, whoa, it's sad. Then they do it on a federal level. We see them doing the same thing here in Michigan and Lansing. They act the same way. The Democrats lock and step. And people look at it like it's a good thing. You hear people say, "Oh, the Democrats, they don't have all that infight and they all work together." Yeah, that's because it's more like a dictatorship over there. There's no independent voices or thoughts. Everybody is forced and told and handed a script, told what to do. You know, on the right, where is all the Democrats? This is a question I got. Where is all the Democrats who exposing corruption within their own party? where they all at, because I know it's a lot of Republicans exposing the rhinos and exposing the Uniparty and exposing the corruption within. It needs to be more, but it's definitely a lot, and that's showing that even though people uh, register or claim to be Republicans, they still recognize the that our own party has many flaws that need to be exposed and corrected as well. Now, on the Democrat side, the Democrats, when they wake up and realize this corruption, they realize majority of it is coming from the Democrat side. So they switch to Republicans, and then they get to exposing the Democrats and the Republicans. But the thing is to expose the uniparty. It's not right versus left or Democrat versus Republican. It's really the uniparty orchestrating this division, keeping us fighting each other while they at the top pulling all the strings. So, the people who believe what the government and the media and the schools say without questioning anything, majority of them people is Democrats. They just blinded and deceived into believing the narrative, for the most part. But anyway, um, it's a lot going on. So let's jump around. I wanna well, with the State of the Union, Trump rocked it in many ways, like he always do. But that was, I was the most happy. A lot of people say how it was a tearjerker and they cried at times. Man, I was the most happiest when I just thought about how happy I was, thankful that I was that it was Trump up there and not Kamala and the Biden regime or the deep state regime. Um, just man, um, we had to suffer through the 4 years of having these deep state puppets parade around like they done really won something, and we knew the truth all along. But what the enemy tried to do for bad, God turned around for good, and it was just a blessing. It was Trump in there, back in the White House, back in front of Congress. The Democrats forced to listen to a boss. You know what I'm saying? They forced to sit there and reveal their true colors. Can't clap for nothing positive. Period. Like it was ridiculous. But a lot of stuff we seeing is to wake up the people who still sleep and who been asleep. It's a lot going on. So speaking of trying to wake people up, I want to jump to this video right here. Uh, I showed y'all a couple videos the other day about New Era Detroit. It's a group down in the D in Detroit that's been going around and protecting the community, doing community watch, um, giving away gifts and toys to the youth, trying to educate the citizens and the population. And in a lot of these black communities and urban communities, um, where people need edification, education, people need advice and guidance on how to get involved in this political realm. So it's beautiful to see. I'll play a couple seconds of this video um, just to highlight them and shout them out again. I'm gonna reach out and try to get a hold of them because they travel all over the country, um, and they definitely travel all over Detroit. But Michigan, man, Muskegon, and all over Michigan, we need this type of activity going on.
In this community, when we're talking about businesses that's in our community and money that goes outside of our community, we talk about our tax bracket, how do we get our services, how we continue to get our city. When we put money in other people's pockets and they take our money, take us for granted, and then take that outside to a whole nother community and embrace their tax brackets so their schools are better, their roads are better, their life and well-being is better, and we let people do this type of stuff to us continuously and say, well, you can open back up and everything is cool, you follow.
Yeah, he got a nice crowd in there, getting people involved. I'm gonna play this part right here real quick. But they got a nice. He got a nice YouTube channel growing. Um, I just found out about this particular group last year. I was highlighting other groups that might have been offshoot. This might be an offshoot of other groups in the past, but a lot of men been stepping up in different cities and becoming the leaders that their communities need and the voices that people need to hear instead of waiting on other people. They doing it themselves, and this is a prime example right here. We gotta shout these out and highlight them for sure.
Arena. Every time I go down to city council, it's only a handful of people. You go to the school board meetings, a handful of people, and then we want to point our finger at everybody. Look at the mayor start pointing the finger at ourselves, but not holding ourselves accountable for what we're supposed to be doing. We got a whole
Hmm.
generation of babies that's growing up under our leadership and responsibility that we dropping the ball on. People in this.
See, you know what I'm saying? And that's how I be feeling, you know what I'm saying? And that's how it is a lot of times. You go to the city council meetings and the school board meetings, it'd be literally three to five people in these meetings. And we the people supposed to be involved. They don't teach us that in school. We supposed to be attending and being informed and being active and being involved in our community and how it's governed and part of the council and the think tanks and all of that. We not taught to fill them gaps. So other people getting in there and filling them. And these people, have, they can be bought off or have agendas or um, have whatever type of intentions. We see what we left with when we not involved. So shout out to New Era Detroit. I'm gonna be trying to get in contact with them, reach out to them. Um, you know what I'm saying in the future, and just have them on the podcast, be on a podcast, exchange knowledge, edification, iron sharpen iron. You know, but a couple other things I want to talk about. Um, the Save Act. We heard Trump talking about that last year, leading up to the election. Save Act, safeguard American voter eligibility. The Save Act. We got an article right here from MERS. Good article, good source to follow. This was put out a couple weeks ago, but it's still important for people to keep tabs on because Jocelyn is fighting it. So Benson and her allies are concerned the SAVE Act will take a chainsaw to our democracy. Hmm. This was published on the 27th of February last month. Like I say, it's about a week old, week or so old. With the U.S. House teeing up legislation mandating that only U.S. citizens have the right to vote, Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson led a press conference laying out how the bill, the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, is a politically driven policy that will cause many more headaches for states and voters than it's worth. So she is pushing back against safeguarding our elections. Surprise, surprise. The article continues to say the legislation requires people to use source documents like passports or birth certificates in order to register to vote, but allows states to require other evidence to demonstrate U.S. citizenship. The motivation is to prevent non citizens from registering to vote in federal elections. We should want to safeguard our federal elections, especially with the influx of 20 million illegal immigrants. Um, so it's saying basically if you don't have a American ID, then you can use your passport or your birth certificate or other evidence to prove your U.S. citizenship. Benson fighting against that. Benson, flanked by Senator Jeremy Ross, a Democrat from Southfield, and Representative Stephen Wooden, Democrat from Grand Rapids, Melanie Macy from Promote the Vote, and Kyle Zawacki from the American Civil Liberties Union, the ACLU, mentioned concerns nationally that married mentioned concerns nationally that married women who change their names will be forced to run down their marriage certificate if a state allows for it to demonstrate that they are a United States citizen. So they saying married women who change their names will be forced to find their marriage certificate to prove that they're a U.S. citizen. The bill comes with additional onerous, I don't know what that word is, additional requirements that states must comply with, she said, and it's not necessary. So that's one of their arguments, saying married women who change their last names don't have to hunt down their marriage certificate to prove that they're U.S. citizens so they can vote. Married women who get married, got to change all type of documents, and women be on top of it. Women, most women be on top of all that stuff, and they've already done all that stuff to get other things like insurance and IDs and everything else in order. Like when you change your last name, you got to get your paperwork in order. Most women is on top of that. Getting your voter registration card, ID card is just something else that they would have to do, which is not an obstacle or hard at all. It's y'all already making life harder. That's just something we used to this, and it's not even hard. It's not even hard. So that's the only argument y'all got. Y'all couldn't come with a stronger argument. Y'all trying to stop a whole save act that's created to safeguard our elections. And all y'all argument is married women who change their last name will have to hunt down their marriage certificate. Um, keep trying, keep trying. We ain't buying it no more. Policies like these are like taking a chainsaw to our democracy, Moss said. As someone who has used a chainsaw in the past, I know this for a fact. It may get the job done, but it's going to cause a lot of damage in the process. Man, if you don't, man, I ain't even going to say what I'm thinking. I'm not even going to say what I'm thinking. But the they they party is they party leadership is a chainsaw to our democracy. You know, if you know, you know, man. People know. These dirty Dems, man, they just follow orders. That's all. Mm-mm. So here's another article I just found. Crazy old Michigan. Crazy old Michigan. And Michigan church youth director faces 30 new felony charges in a sexual abuse case. Last year, I did like 3-part piece on pedophilia in the Michigan churches going back decades, like crazy extreme cases going back decades. So this is no surprise, unfortunately. Hearing about stuff like this, it just drives me crazy that we not vetting people more properly when it's involving children. I don't care if it's the school, the church, whatever it is. It needs to be extra layers of security when it comes to vetting people who work and are around children. I wonder why the vetting is so lightweight and easy to get through, slip through the cracks. Why is it so many big cracks? So I'm gonna play this article. This was put out CBS News Detroit, updated today, and this just boils my blood.
After 30 charges were added, a former church leader will head to trial after 30 charges were added to a sexual abuse case. During Zachary Radcliffe's court appearance yesterday, more counts were added based on emotional testimony. He now faces 60 charges. Radcliffe is accused of abusing kids between 12 and 17 years old. Months ago, police searched his home and told U.S. Radcliffe's crimes date back close to 15 years. A Washtenaw County judge thinks the case is indescribable.
I don't say this lightly at all, but in my 25 some plus years, I've seen a lot. This ranks up with one of the most egregious predators that I have ever seen.
Radcliffe's attorney argued he should not face charges on sexual abuse-related offenses because physical evidence was not presented in court. If convicted, he could face up to life in prison.
Mm. Mm, mm, mm. That was that one judge. That was that one funny judge from them other videos that went viral. But anyway, yeah, so a former Washtenaw County Church youth group director will now stand trial on 60 charges connected to sexual abuse after that judge just added 30 more counts following testimony Tuesday. 29-year-old Zachary Radcliffe appeared Tuesday in a courtroom for a prelim examination where several young men testified against Radcliffe. Following testimony, 14th A District Court Judge Cedric Simpson added 9 counts of first-degree criminal sexual conduct and 21 counts of child sexually abusive activity. In all, Radcliffe faces 60 charges related to first-degree CSC, child sexual abuse activity, and using a computer to commit a crime. What I saw with them, they need to believe, and they ought to be believed. Whether anyone does, that's maybe for the future, but I believe them. I believe everything they told this court, Simpson said. That's the judge. I don't say this lightly at all, not how I operate my life, and certainly not how I operate as a judge, but in my 25 plus years, I've seen a lot, and this ranks up with one of the most egregious predators that I have ever seen um, as it regards individuals. So again, that's this article that was put out today regarding this here in Michigan. Mm, mm. Radcliffe is the former music and youth director at Oakwood Church in Augusta Township. Michigan State Police began investigating Radcliffe on October 2nd last year after they were notified that he had solicited child sexually abusive material from a minor. Police executed a search warrant of Radcliffe's office and residence. Mm, mm, mm. This just make me so mad, man. In October, officials said they had identified multiple victims and that the victims range in age from 12 to 17 years old. It's alleged that the crimes have been occurring since at least 2011. So that's almost 14 years where he been allowed to get away with this crap. And then look at this. Radcliffe is the son of Oakwood's senior pastor. So Oakwood is the church. He the son. He been CSCing for 14 years while his dad, the senior pastor, they suspended him the day after the investigation and fired him on a week and a half later. Boy, I tell you, man, this stuff go on far too often, man. Far too often. It's so easy for predators to get around our children, whether it's the school. We just talked about that a couple weeks ago, how they slip through the vetting process, substitute teachers getting into the schools, and now we got the church. None of this stuff is new. Why is it allowed to happen? Why is it continuing to go on till this day when we know that it's going on? I tell you. Mm, mm, mm. All right, so we got a few more things we're gonna talk about. Hope everybody having a good day today. I can't see my comments from Facebook. Anybody tuning in? What's up, Facebook? What's up, Rumble? What's up, YouTube? Man, yeah, we got rallies, Ukrainian rallies going on in Michigan, like in Detroit and in Traverse City. Like, what is going on? Y'all feeling bad for little old Zelensky? Y'all know he an actor, right? He used to be a comedian. He used to be a little pole dancer dancing for the dollar. He actor, comedian. He played the president in a movie, and now his puppet masters done told him it's real life now. We was really just prepping you, getting the crowd of Ukraine, the people used to seeing you as the president. They just primed them, and uh, man, that's great. Mm. People in Michigan, people in America supporting Ukraine. Don't know nothing about Ukraine except what the media done told you. Man, follow the money. Trace the history. Get to the roots before you support something. Dig to the root. Don't take what they spoon feeding you. Well, we got an article right here from a Traverse City rally in support for Ukraine after the recent White House meeting. Look at them. Oh man, bless they heart. And we got this one right here, Detroit. I'm gonna play. Let's see what they talking about, man. This is we gotta pray for them, man. Mm-mm.
A group of Traverse City held a day of support for Ukraine in various locations throughout the city today. Traverse Indivisible invited people to attend their demonstrations this morning. It comes after last Friday's meeting between President Trump, Vice President Vance, and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. The locations included the Governmental Center, Representative Jack Bergman's office, and the Traverse City Record Eagle. Attendees brought signs in American, Ukrainian, and peace flags.
The fact that Russia is celebrating Trump and Vance's capitulation, and that Russian state media was invited into the White House to witness the ambush of Zelensky should prompt every American to seriously consider the grave danger Jack Bergman supports.
Congressman Bergman sent us this response to today's demonstrations, saying in part, peaceful protesting is clearly a First Amendment right, so we welcome Indivisible or any other group to exercise that right and exclaim their opinion. Of note, this same group protested at our TC office every Tuesday for nearly 2 years in Representative Bergman's first term.
Mm-mm-mm. Bless their little heart, man. I tell you what. Mm-mm-mm. They out there doing their little thing, following their marching orders. Traverse City. Good old Traverse City. Talking about Trump and Vance ambush Zelensky. Man, he come in there trying to dress like he a ninja warrior. Uh, come in here. All he do is go around pushing propaganda and begging for money. I'm the only people. Man, if you knew the truth about Ukraine, you would know why Trump is cutting it off. They had their way. They billions, hundreds of billions of dollars. We done with that. It's a big charade. Majority of people don't buy it. As you can see, it's still little fractions and fractions of the population that do buy this crap. Yeah. We got more down here in
Trump said
Detroit.
tonight that ending the war in Ukraine is a top priority, but that was put in jeopardy after a White House meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
And that's the thing too. Like Trump trying to end the war, he want to bring peace. He said he want everybody to stop dying. The Democrats, you think they clapped at that last night when he said he want to? Nope, they didn't. They didn't know what to clap. Some of the people wanted to clap, but they looking around and nobody clapping, and then they remembering what they was told. Like they can't clap at nothing Trump say. Even when they wanted to clap, they couldn't clap. And it was one of them who was brave enough to get up and clap, man. Shout out to her, man, for having some individuality. Shout out to her for, man, being a leader and not a dad blame follower. Where's the rest of the leadership in the Democrat Party besides at the top? Man. Mm-mm-mm.
Trump announced that Zelensky would be meeting him in the Oval Office last Friday to sign a minerals deal. That meeting, now seen around the world, turned very contentious between Trump and Zelensky. Then on Sunday, Zelensky said that a deal to end the war with Russia was very far away. Monday, Trump was unhappy with Zelensky for that suggestion and then paused assistance to Ukraine to try to pressure Zelensky to start negotiating.
Oh, and that's the thing. Zelensky plan was Zelensky basically saying, if we got America on our side, we can win this war. We can do all this. We can keep fighting against Russia forever as long as we want to take down Russia. If we got America, we can keep fighting. Trump, like, man, we don't want to keep fighting. We don't want to fight. You think you can have us with contingencies or securities or whatever he was saying, guarantees, like you don't run nothing, bro. You ain't in the position to call no shots. We don't want to fight no more. You without us, you can't fight no more. You already was losing before we decided to help you, and that was Biden, who was trying to win a losing battle. They knew they couldn't win against Russia, and I hope the same thing happened with Netanyahu. Trump needs to tell Netanyahu the same thing. Like, we don't want to fight your wars in the Middle East no more. Without us, you can't win none of these wars. We ain't even gonna get into that subject. But the reason I'm on Ukraine is because we got Ukrainian rallies all across Michigan, apparently. And the people who supporting them is so brainwashed by the media. The people who admit in America who or Michigan holding these rallies, man, they just brainwashed by the media. But at least they out here fighting. At least they ain't sitting back not involved. Like, they might be on the wrong side, but if they at least they doing something. Fool, they don't know they're deceived. A lot of people deceived about a lot of things and don't know it. But anyway, so yeah, I guess we got one down here in Detroit too. I ain't watched this beforehand, but we know what's going on with the dang on Ukrainian charade. It's over. Trump back in the White House now. So y'all charade with Ukraine is over. Y'all charade with DEI is over. Y'all about to keep these boys out of girl sports because the parents don't want that. We don't want that. We're gonna discuss that too. But this is common sense. I got so many family members who Democrats who still under the indoctrination and they against boys being in girl sports, but they still go and vote for Biden or Harris. Like they uh, claiming Democrat, but living conservative Christian belief systems and principles. You know what I'm saying? Lifestyles even. Um, but just under the indoctrination and don't know it. It's like they don't want boys in their girls' locker room. They don't want open borders. They don't want the Second Amendment right took away. But they blindly going in here voting Democrat. Like, come on, man. You being deceived. You know what I'm saying? We ain't saying the Republican Party is perfect because there's a lot of flaws on the Republican side too. But it aligned the closest with biblical principles. And if we can get rid of the daggone corruption and get back to constitutional Christianity, then sure we can expose this corruption and clean up the bull crap in politics. A lot of it, but this two party system is never how it was intended to be anyway. And then being ruled by the government instead of the government serving us, we serving them. They taxing us to death. We got to get all this corruption and perversion and shenanigans out of our government. Get back to the basics, the common law constitution based off the Ten Commandments. True, smaller government. We know what it takes, man. You got all this corruption involved. It just mess everything up. You know what I'm saying? So let me keep going before I keep on. Y'all know how I do. You know what I'm saying? Now this is it. This is exciting and uplifting. It's a couple of weeks ago, 10 days ago or something article, but this is from Michigan Watchdog Capcom. Shout out to them. The DNR uproots plan to lease forest for solar facility. Now they changed their plans, and it was because of these dad blame meddling patriots. The dad blame warriors for God and country out here creating, being the resistance we was created to be. We supposed to resist and stand against evil. Shoot. And make noise, expose their evil plans. So this got so much publicity and coverage that they had to back up on their plans. They had to switch up their plans and cancel their plans. Hopefully they completely cancel them and this just ain't no hat trick. Like they'll tell you they stopping something just so you bag off and go back home. Whole time that was just a you know what I'm saying, publicity stunt for optics. They, you know what I'm saying, get everybody thinking they won the battle and go back home. Whole time that was just a fake ad put out. Ain't had nothing to do with this. This the type of evil we dealing with, man. If you can't get into the mind of the enemy or understand how criminals think, you never have victory in this battle. You know, God teach you how to understand, know thy enemy. The Michigan Department of Natural Resources has suspended a plan to let a private firm convert 420 acres of trees near Gaylord to a solar farm after the project made national news. Criticism of the project unfolded in early January as lawmakers and environmental groups called for more transparency and oversight of DNR operations. And that's an important point because we know here in Michigan, DNR got a lot of power. I remember when we was kids, we knew about it and we used to talk like, they just as powerful as the state police or if not more or something like that. We knew they had more power than the regular cops. They could pull you over. Now that, I'm older and looking into all this stuff more, that's a good question. Why does the Department of Natural Resources have so much authority and power? How deep does it go? How deep does it go? And then this also tie into the committee that Gretchen Whitmer created, the um the 3 or 4 person panel she created to take local control from Michigan residents and townships and communities and give it to her small little panel. I can't even think of the name of it right now, but it's a lot of opposition to the stuff that they was doing the past several years when they had full control here in Michigan. Boy, they was running rampant. Now we gotta figure out all the stuff they done did and undo a lot of the stuff and expose it all and wake the people up, man. But this is kind of a little lengthy article, so I definitely ain't gonna read it. Anybody interested, check it out. Michigan Watchdog Capcom. Um, Great source, another great source for Michigan news. Y'all know we try to keep it Michigan focused. Man, we got a Lisa Slotkin running around here, the new Debbie Dingleberry. She like a new young puppet politician ready to serve for the next 30, 40 years. They thinking they gonna have her until she old and wrinkly like Nancy Pelosi. But we finna expose all these evildoers. The light, the truth is like sunlight to these vampire evildoers. The truth is like sunlight. They can't withstand the truth. The more people that wake up to the truth and expose them, which is shining the light, more everybody can shine the light on these evildoers. The more people doing it, the more it kill and destroy their skin and their facade and their corruption is exposed and it just oozes out of them for the world to see, and their covers blown, and they have to slither back into their little pitiful caves that they crawled out of, no longer allowed to play a part in destroying our state or country. We exposing all these evildoers worldwide. We exposing them all, and then start on a local level. Everybody can be doing this on a local level in their communities all across Michigan. Ain't gotta be crazy and violent. You can be angry. You can be loud. You ain't got to touch nobody, spit on nobody, disrespect me. And tell them how you feel. You see how I do it, but everybody can do it differently. You can go in there, kill them with kindness, ask them tough grilling questions with a polite face, calm voice, and that'll destroy them. That'll kill them just as effectively as any other way. Just get them demons riled all up because you coming in there with love and kindness and truth. They can't handle love and truth. Shoot, they can't handle it. Um. So yeah, another thing I've been wanting to talk about, man, is Anthony Hudson, who running for governor, and we're gonna talk about the governor race a little bit. But Anthony Hudson is running. I haven't had a conversation with him personally yet. I did see him multiple times at the convention. We were both so busy we didn't get to talk. And I've seen several of his videos, shared several of his videos. His videos look great. He looked like a great potential candidate. But we can't just believe what people say. We have to look into their fruits, into their actions. We have to look beneath the surface. So, of course, he looked like a great candidate, sound like a great candidate, but that's all surface level. We have to dig beneath that. Um, we can't keep falling for the okey doke. We can't put a lot of time and effort into somebody if they not who they say they are. I'm not saying he is or he isn't. I'm just saying we have to learn from our mistakes in the past, and we can't afford to waste time in this race. It's an important race. Here's the candidates so far. As you can see, we got Jocelyn Benson. I don't know who this Marnie Sawicki is. Sawicki, whatever. We got Chris Swanson, Anthony Hudson, Eric Nesbitt, Mike Dugan. And I don't know when this was last updated, but we also know that John James is in the race. Um, I'm not sure if he's formally announced it, but I believe he's vacated his other position and has officially announced. So I'm not sure yet, but this is what we got so far. Three Democrats. Well, Mike Duggan, he a Democrat too, even though he say independent. Eric Nesbitt, I don't know much about him, but the things I've been hearing, man, aren't good. Like I've been hearing negative things. I don't know um if he's a warrior or not. Um, so I'm gonna keep my tabs on him. But like I say, the things I've been hearing is that he more establishment, but I'm not sure. I gotta look into it myself. So that's not my view or my opinion. I'm just saying that's what I've been hearing. Now with Anthony Hudson, like I say, he look good, sound good, but we got to look deeper into all these characters. Now we already know about Jocelyn Benson. I don't know about this person, but they all Democrats, and so is Mike Dugan. Man, he running independent. That's just a facade. Now, Eric Nesbitt, Anthony Hudson, and John James are our options basically on the Republican side so far. So, many people familiar with John James. Just a lot of people that might be familiar with Eric Nesbitt. I'm not. Anthony Hudson, I'm not familiar with him at all, but I've been hearing rumblings that Anthony Hudson is not who he claims to be, and he's a fraud. I've been hearing that. It's not my view. I haven't done my own deep investigations and into him yet, so I can't give my personal view yet. But that's some of the things I've been hearing, some of the rumblings. There's a lot of people that like him, and what he say, but we always have to look deeper. So I didn't know Anthony Hudson had ran for president last year, um, against Trump, or was it last election? I didn't. I also didn't know he ran for Congress, um, either. So he done ran for Congress. He ran for presidency. Yeah, in 2024 he ran for presidency, and he ran for the U.S. House, and then now he running for governor. Okay, so he running for three things now. With does he have any political experience? Uh, how much money did he raise? Who's helping him? All type of questions that we should ask when vetting any candidate. This is not singling Anthony Hudson out because Lord knows we need some good options here in Michigan. But we have to do our due diligence. This is showing right here, 2024. He ran in the same year. He ran for president and House. Withdrew from the presidential race. Lost the primary. Raised 140,000. Spent a little over 100. Hmm. Ran for president. Now he's running for governor. He trying to run for it all. Now we did talk about through Messenger about having a getting him on my podcast. So I do want to get him on the podcast and ask him some questions, some tough questions. If you ain't got nothing to hide, you should be able to handle tough questions. And if there's people out there, there's questions circulating and people wondering, you should want to clear up the questions. You should welcome these questions anyway. So we're gonna look further into Anthony Hudson. You know, he was born in Texas. A truck driver. Looked like he was in the army for a couple years. So these is the type of things we moving forward, man, we gotta vet these candidates. Now Patriot Approved with Curtis Clark, he got a website called Patriot Approved where he go through and do a lot of this vetting for the voters, and sources like that, Patriot Approved, you can check them out. They come in handy because a lot of people don't got time to go through and vet each candidate, or which is understandable. But it's people like us who will get down and do that dirty work for you. So hopefully we get some more candidates in the governor race on the Republican side, because the three we got right now, um, is questions I got about them all. Last governor race, we had like 10, 11 candidates, which was like historic, which was a lot. And we still, there was still sabotaging going on. There was still a lot of confusion and infighting and a lot of manipulation going on. So this time we got to learn from all the previous tactics the enemy done used against us, and we got to evolve and get smarter in this political war, this spiritual war, for good versus evil. It's we facing an enemy who been manipulating and deceiving mankind for thousands of years, but our God is greater. When we put God first, man, we can come together and unite. We can easily take our state back, our country back when we truly got God first, truly unite and then exposing corruption. Um, get the corruption out the equation. Things can run a lot more smoother. Things can run a lot more smoother. We got all this evil agendas, satanic agendas, and all this corruption and egos, and uh, throw wrenches all in the operation. So we're gonna keep an eye on this. I'm gonna reach out to Anthony and try to get him on here and try to have a conversation. Period, just to get to the bottom of this because I got text message from somebody. Matter of fact, let me pull that up real quick because I got a message, and the person says that the problem with Anthony Hudson is that he's sucking up donations from good people who have no clue. Which, if what he's saying is true, he make a very good point. We don't got time for some. If the allegations is true, if he is a fraudulent candidate, we don't got time to be falling for the shiny object, the glittery object that ain't gold or a fraudulent character. If the allegations is true, but this person, um, he's saying Hudson is a mess on every level, starting with the criminal history. He got domestic violence charges in Traverse City. These is allegations that I haven't corroborated or verified. So I'm just letting y'all know these is allegations from a Michigander, fellow Michigander, who is involved and concerned uh, about what's going on. So he gave me some history on some criminal history, couple domestic violence charges, and I want to try to get Anthony on here and ask him about this stuff and get his side of the story and see what's true or what's not and clear up some stuff if it's all fraudulent or if it's partly true, whatever it is. He deserved to have his chance to be able to address it. But from what this person sent me, it's it's a lot of stuff to be concerned about, a lot of questions to ask about. So we gonna keep tabs on that. We gonna keep tabs on that. Hopefully he's a legitimate. These is all smear campaign tactics, and he's a legitimate candidate. We got somebody good to rally behind. Hopefully that's how it is. But we know in politics that is not how it rolls, man. These politicians count on people not to do their own due diligence and not to research and just believe their words and not look into their actions. That's what these most of these politicians count on. And I'm not saying that's what Anthony Hudson is doing. I'm just saying that's how it works in the political arena. And if you can't look past the surface level and look into people history and their fruits and their money trail, then you shouldn't be involved because you're going to end up being fooled, wasting your time and money supporting these fraudulent characters and candidates. So we're going to look into Anthony Hudson. Hopefully, the things I've been hearing, he can address those and put people worries to rest. We are going to see. But like right now, it's 7 candidates in the race. 4 of them are Republicans. I mean Democrats. even though Mike doesn't claim to be independent. We we wising up as voters and as warriors for God and country. We not gonna keep falling for the same old bullcrap. The game is over. The game y'all been playing over our lives is over. You know, the jig is up. What just because y'all haven't accepted it don't mean it's not true. And God is in control, man. God warriors rising up. So that's a blessing. Now, it's already been an hour. Boy, time fly when you're having fun. I'm gonna go through some of these posts real quick on X. You know, we got Brother Colbeck in the building. He says, great insight as to why President Trump started his speech last night with America is back. March 4th, 1789 was the first official date that our constitutional republic was launched. And he was highlighting a post from John Rich saying the first Wednesday in March 1789 was March 4th. Congress established that this day would mark the start of the new federal government under the ratified Constitution. I like the timing of at real Donald Trump's speech tonight. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Boy, this deeper. This deep. Y'all, you know, you can't look at the surface level. The media is the surface. And the mainstream media is really like a distorted, manipulated surface level. You got to look beneath it. You got to put on your they live glasses or your spiritual discernment glasses. I like this one. This is a funny post right here. I don't know who made this, but they switched it up. Y'all probably seen this already. But hey, if you know, you know, man. Lord help us. This is that clown Alyssa Slotkin. Oh my goodness. I don't even want to listen to this. But thankfully it's only 27 seconds. Let's hear it.
While we're on the subject of Elon Musk, is there anyone in America who is comfortable with him and his gang of 20-year-olds using their own computer servers to poke through your tax returns, your health information, and your bank accounts? No oversight, no protections against cyber attack, no guardrails on what they do with your private data. We need a more efficient government. You want to cut waste? I'll help you do it. But change doesn't need to be chaotic.
Oh man. The new little deep state spokeswoman spokes thing. Uh Birds of a feather flock together. Scales on a snake stay slithering close. I don't know where that was going, but y'all know what I mean, man. Look at them. Ugh. Ugh. Lord. Oh, Brad Paquette says both of my U.S. senators, Gary Peters and Alyssa Slotkin, are opposed to my daughter playing sports against other girls only. What a sword to fall on with only one of you at the end of your political career. Yeah, that's true. Jocelyn, her career is over. She ain't never gonna make it as Michigan governor. I'm speaking that into existence. We gonna have a red governor. I'm not sure who it's gonna be, but it ain't gonna be her. She done. She done been sued 6, 7 times. Here's a post by Heather Dow, Patriot Warrior from here in Michigan, highlighting how Gretchen just ignoring the 35th Senate District and the constituents thereof. Anybody in that area watching, man, we gotta call. We gotta keep calling. Even if you don't live in these districts, I be calling. Like, nah, I ain't from that district. But I'm still concerned. If y'all doing it in that district, why y'all won't do it in our district too one day? Here go Tudor Dixon talking about girls and boys sports. Today, Michigan's U.S. senators chose not to protect women in sports. The American people were clear in November, and we won't forget Senator Slotkin's betrayal. Thankfully, voters will replace Gary Peters next year. Yep. Hopefully, with someone who supports women and girls. Amen. Amen. Some of these last candidates, I wonder if they gonna try to jump in late, or if they learn it, if they learned how the games, like Tudor Dixon. I wonder if she gonna try again, or freaking Ryan Kelly, or Donna Brandenburg, Kevin Rinke. A lot of these candidates who tried last time, I wonder if they gonna throw their hat in the ring, or if they rather not after going through what they went through last time. Just curious. But anyway, oh, this is interesting. I definitely wanted to point this out. Can you believe this? So this is Distill Social. I guess this is a leftist organization. I'm not too familiar with, but Mike Mayor Dugan said this: "Boys don't belong in girls' sports." And Distill Social replied this: "We knew Mike Dugan was a a-hole. Now we know he's also a transphobic a-hole. So if you believe boys don't belong in girls' sports, you're a transphobe." Hmm, interesting. Mike Dugan's comment happened while meeting with Arab American leaders earlier this week at a closed door meeting in Genesee County. Yeah, he had to say that to appease to his crowd, because he know that they don't play that gay stuff over in some of these different nations don't play that. Over in Africa, a lot of them nations refused to submit and bow down when Obama was trying to push it. Man, this joint's so deep. I ain't even gonna get sidetracked on it. Michigan Superintendent Michael Rice told schools they didn't have to comply with Trump's Title IX executive order, and now four non-compliant Michigan school districts, hold on, Rochester, Plymouth, Heartland, and Mount Pleasant, are at risk of losing their federal funding. Take their money. They need to lose it. He told them. He told them well in advance. Y'all don't follow federal policies, whether it's immigration, Title IX, whatever federal policies y'all don't want to follow them. Don't. Won't get your federal funding, which makes sense. You ain't got to follow them. You ain't got to get no money either. And like with Gretchen, explosive budget. I wonder why she doing that purposely, trying to take all this money from the Trump administration, even though she took a lot from the Biden administration. She done doubled our budget up to $83.5 billion. Uh, but if she don't follow Trump policies, she ain't gonna get it. Half of that money, 43% of that money, is federal funding. Come from federal funding. So if Gretchen don't want to comply, Jocelyn, y'all want to keep allowing illegals to vote and having boys and go ahead. These sanctuary cities, yeah, go ahead. Y'all won't have the money to push y'all little operation. Mm, mm. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Mm, 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 mm. Here's an article I'm gonna highlight. I haven't got to read it, but it's pertaining to the subject. Get kids back to school. A lot of y'all may be familiar with this group. I think I heard of it a couple years ago, but I'm not sure. Definitely haven't heard of it recently. Leads the way. Get kids back to school leads the way on protecting girls' rights. I'm gonna just scroll through this so y'all can read it. Look like he being a leader, stepping up and fighting for the children. Look like Detroit News picked up on it and did an article on it as well. So y'all can pause this and check it out. I'll talk more about it on the next episode after I read up on it. I just popped this one just popped up on my X. I'm gonna look into that. But anyway, we up over an hour. You know, every time I try to say I'm gonna keep this one short, it end up going over an hour. I didn't even say that today. I don't think, but I always try, and it never happened. But man, God is good, man. We can get our state back. We could take our state back. We can be an example, a leader across the other states of the United States. We got a big obstacle, but God got many of His strongest warriors here to stand up for the task at hand. So fret not, fear not, worry not. Just put God first, man. We can do this. We can do this together. Today's verse comes from Romans 3:23 and 24. For all have sinned and come short of the glory of God, being justified freely by his grace through the redemption that is in Christ Jesus. That's Romans chapter 3, verse 23 through 23, 23 and 24. God bless y'all. Thank y'all for tuning back in once again for another episode of Logic. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please like, share, drop comments, and even prayer requests down below. And also subscribe so you can stay notified each and every time our weekly content is uploaded. Thank y'all. God bless y'all. Hit that share button. Hit that like button. God bless. Peace.